This is Talking Bullish, the #1 Bradford Bulls fan podcast. We're your hosts, Alan Raisin and Laura Micklefield.
This week, we're looking back at the elimination playoff against Featherstone. I've got lots of Bulls news to get through and looking forward to the semi-final against Toulouse. Welcome back.
Hope everyone is feeling good after a nice win against Featherstone.
Yeah, second time in 2 weeks that we've got the win against Featherstone. Mm-hmm. This one's slightly more important than the one the week before, and a better performance as well, I'd say. So, I know I was very much like, let's not be talking about Toulouse, like we're going to jinx it, like things are going to not work out. And to be fair, I was quite nervous at the beginning of this match. There was something that was just like in my stomach thinking, oh, are we going to even get past this elimination playoff? But yes, we managed it. We did. And we can talk about Toulouse now.
So going back to Friday night then, a lot better weather than the previous Sunday. So,
yeah, I think that made a massive difference, to be honest. That's one of the things I was saying, like, please let the weather be better, because I think the weather's like an equaliser. So it was good to get a more flowing game, shall we say. But
it didn't start too well, did it? First points again went to Fev in the form of a penalty from a high tackle.
Yeah, so they opted for the kick. So about 6 minutes in, and it were 2-0 to Fev. It didn't start too well, but there was a lot of penalties going Fev's way again. It was kind of similar in a thing to that as well. So yeah, bit of a slow start from that side of things. I do think his defence were really good though. I think the fact that they went for two was because they were getting quite a lot of pressure on our line, but not getting through. So kind of glad they opted for the two, especially obviously in playoffs. I think they're thinking, oh, they'll go for safety, but it's better that obviously for us that they got the two rather than getting the six. Yeah, it was 13 minutes in when we got a lovely drive through from Sker, offloads in the tackle to Hallis, and then fast hands from Hallis to Lawrence to Hooley, and a lovely pass out wide to Ock, who breaks down the wing to score in the corner. Lovely try. Lily converts as well from the touchline. So 13 minutes in, we're 6-2 up. So switched it around pretty quickly. Like I say, let those 2 points in early, but managed to bring it back round to 6-2 pretty quick.
Yeah, and then at 21 minutes in, Fev actually did put the ball over the try line, but after a clear knock-on, I don't know if it was clear from the stands, officials allowed the play to continue right to the end of the play, but then the touch judge clarified with the ref and showed that a Bradford player was taken out in the build-up, so the try was disallowed.
Looking back on that as well, on the highlights, it was clearly a knock-on. He saw him just drop the ball cold and then pick it up. Everybody in the stands just like, what? Why are we carrying on? And I don't know if that kind of contributed to the Bulls players kind of switching off a bit, thinking, oh, we're going to get pulled back for a knock-on, which obviously caused the flow of play to continue. But in fairness, if that had actually been given and one they hadn't knocked on and then two not took a Bradford player out, it was a really great try. We did say that would have been a fantastic try, to be fair. They just didn't give up and threw it about. But no, there was an error at the start of it and then some illegal play towards the end of it. So it's one of the rare times I've seen in the championship the touch judge actually getting involved. Because you could see he was about to award the try, and it was the touch judge who kind of put his flag up, and he went over to speak to him and said that a Bradford player had been taken out, and obviously try disallowed and penalty to Bradford. So it was good that actually did get disallowed and get picked up, because especially in playoff matches as well, and been in the championship, like we said before, not having the video ref, things like that could have made a massive difference, because it could have swung the momentum like totally Featherstone's way. So good that they picked that one up.
But as it is, we went to 33 minutes with a lovely break from Suter from dummy half. Loops the pass over to Ock, who wrestles a Fev defender. Like was he going backwards over the line to score? And then Hooley converts that one.
Yes, so 12-2 at that point, and let's say that were 33 minutes in, and then stayed 12-2 at half time. Thought it were a good first half. A lot of penalties for Featherstone, like again, kind of similar to last week in a way. Not as bad, I don't think, on the decisions, but it just seemed to be that we do something and it kind of we're just penalised for every little thing, and they tried the same tactics and seemed to get away with it. But again, maybe it's my Bradford Bulls blinkers, but I know that Brian No-ble did allude to that. But yeah, it's I think we soaked up the pressure. I think we capitalised on our chances. So it wasn't perfect first half, but I definitely thought a lot of decisions went against us, and it was really good that we defended, because again, it was a lot of pressure on our line, and we didn't break, and obviously they just got the 2 from the penalty. So yeah, second half, Fev came out firing second half again, and had to soak up a lot of pressure probably the first 10-15 minutes, which I probably thought they would. I mean, it's a playoff match and they're not just going to give in. So it was a kind of slow start with not much scoring up until about 53 minutes.
Yeah, so we start the set on our goal line, but get up the field with Fulton, who has a lovely break and offload to Suter, who passes to Holmes, who offloads back to Suter, who breaks up the middle and passes it to Meadows, who gets tackled 20 metres out. A good drive there, and then the resulting set sees a grubber from Holmes, which is missed by Gill, but Tafua gathers and dots it under the posts. Yeah, like just comes through the crowd, grabs it out of the air, tiptoes along the back line and touches it down between the posts. Brilliant try, that one. And Hooley converting again to make it 18-2.
Particularly good try, that one, I think. Lots. The drive upfield to get us in that position, starting kind of on our goal line and getting up to 20 metres. And then just the passes through and the kick, it was brilliant. It was like, I saw it bounce up and then Gill misses it and you're like, oh, and then you just see him kind of fly out from nowhere, grab it and go under the sticks. Really enjoyed that one. I think we just tried to keep going from there, to be honest. 63 minutes then, Paposhi made a half break. Nearly got through. I thought he was through when I was watching it, to be honest. We'd all kind of jumped off his seats, but they just sniped his legs at the last minute. But then quick play the ball, and Suter passes to Holmes from dummy half, and a neat little pass back on the inside to a rampaging Skur who crashes over the line. So, yeah, brilliant. Lovely try. I like ones like that. It was kind of a fast hands and then back on the inside, and there were just massive gap for Skur to go through. I think he bounced a couple of defenders off on the way through as well, and Hooley converts that one as well. So at this point it's 24-2. So well in control at this point, and thinking we're hopefully going to the semi-finals. But we did let off a little bit at 75 minutes.
Yeah, we gave away 2 penalties and a 6 again. And the Bradford defence finally broken down by Fed. They stretch out to score, and that's converted, bringing it to 24-8.
So, it was unfortunate that we let that try in. I think even the players looked quite disappointed, and I know it's obviously points difference doesn't make a blind bit of difference at this point, but it was nice to see that the players kind of were really kind of priding themselves on keeping the defence strong. And, just one of those. Pressure tells. It was 2 penalties and a 6 again. You're probably not going to defend that after one after the other. Yeah. Bit harsh, I think, especially the 6 again. I don't think they were holding down any longer than the rest of the tackles, but that's how it was. But anyway, we didn't let that affect us, and heads didn't go down. So, 79 minutes. Meadows passes to Holmes, who offloads in the tackle to Paposhi. Lovely fast hands to Gill, and then to Tafua to see him top off the win with a try. So it was brilliant. Just as the hooter was going, a try in the corner, so we're bouncing around in the crowd. And then, Lawrence attempts the conversion. Said it could be his last home match of his career. It's kind of been rumoured that it is probably his kind of final season. And obviously, if we don't get back to Odsal in these playoffs, then it could be his last home match. So I thought, he obviously wanted to try and take the kick, and he missed massively. Good attempt though. He got the distance, just didn't get the
right angle
direction. Yeah. But no, I think, like we say, it didn't really matter at that point. We already knew we'd won. Hooter had gone, and full time 28-8.
Yeah, brilliant results. Happy to get through what might have been a tricky one, but I think with Feth down a lot of players, I know they had trouble. They only just had enough players to field a full squad, and I think some of them weren't even in their preferred positions. But yeah, not to take anything away from the Bulls, totally comfortable win. So onwards we go.
Yeah, good win. Enjoyed it. Thought looked confident. And so on to the semi-finals. So that's excellent that we do get another trip to Toulouse. But before we come and have a chat about that, we've got some Bulls news to address this week. So since we recorded, there's been quite a bit of Bulls news to talk about. So Alan, let's get started with it.
Yeah, we've got two players signing contracts extensions. Laura's favourite, Super Sam Hallis.
Yeah.
And also Luke Hooley signing 2-year deal.
Also big, yeah.
Yeah, so excellent. Two brilliant players committing to new contracts for the Bulls. Yeah.
Really, really chuffed with these. I'm really glad for Sam. Like I said, I think on last week's pod that I thought he always runs his blood to water when he's on the field, sort of thing. He's a cracking player, as I'd say, and I'm really, really pleased for him. Glad he got a contract for next year, because I know I were hoping that he'd still be around, and I think they think a lot of him in the squad as well, and obviously captained the side last week, didn't he, with Lawrence and Lily not there, so I think he's quite high up in the obviously the leadership group within the squad, so that's brilliant. And Luke Hooley, that's brilliant news. Obviously, he wasn't our player this season. He was still a Castleford player and just on loan. But it's lovely to know that he wants to stick around, and he stayed to sign a 2-year permanent deal with us. So it's good. It's like a big circle round for Hooley. Obviously, he came up through the Bradford Academy. Went on to several different clubs after I think he left when the liquidation happened in 2017. If think it was then. But yeah, it's nice that he's kind of done a full circle and he's back with us. And yeah, feeling obviously confident and comfortable to be a Bulls player and signing on for 2 years. And I know I'm really chuffed about it, and looking online as well. I think everybody else is as well. General consensus is, yeah, brilliant news on both counts. It was nice to see some contract news this week, especially as well, building up to the semi-final.
And then the other big news actually came out last week after we recorded. We have a new head coach for the next 3 years, Kurt Haggerty.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this news. It was one of those, and it was frustrating. Was it about like an hour or something after we recorded last week? So it just like packed away on everything, and then it's like, ping, new head coach. I'm like, oh, as if. Yeah. Yeah, a bit unlucky with the timing there, but obviously get a chance to talk about it this week. So yeah, Kurt, I was surprised with this one, to be fair. I didn't expect us to be announcing the head coach position at this point. And it kind of obviously came out of nowhere, which I know signings can and stuff, but obviously you sometimes get a little teaser or a little warning or something. It was just kind of released.
Well, we knew they'd been interviewing, but probably not expecting a decision quite so soon, I would say.
No, I don't think so. I'm glad it's made now, because obviously you can start with the retention, recruitment. Obviously, if he's got ideas of who he's targeting, we've obviously got ahead of the game with it. But it's obviously good to have that. But yeah, like I say, a little bit surprised. It was one of those where the name's announced and I was a bit like, oh, I remember him as a Bulls player. But I didn't really know much about his coaching. And I think in my head, I always thought we'd get someone who was a head coach before. Yeah. But then I think back to the fact that obviously before No-ble took over, we had Eamon O'Carroll, who he was a assistant coach. I think it was at Catalan, if I remember rightly. So he was assistant coach and obviously came on to do head coaching at ours, and things were a pretty good season from him, obviously before he left. So yeah, obviously it's one that we want to get behind him, and wish him all the best with the Bulls. And yeah, what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, well, so I was trying to research like how he might have done at Toronto Wolfpack. He was there with Brian No-ble, as you say. But there's just no data online about Toronto. No mention of him on Rugby League Project, and very little about Toronto Wolfpack. There's a little mention on his Wikipedia page, but basically someone's updated it to say he's the Bulls head coach now. But yeah, he's at Salford, assistant coach at Salford. So, obviously they've had the season they've had, but hopefully he's had some good Super League experience and can bring that to the Bulls.
I think I know that obviously No-ble was saying when he were talking about him, saying that he's obviously worked with him before at Toronto, so obviously knows how he works and what his visions are and stuff. And obviously I think Paul Rowley at Salford, the head coach there, speaks really highly of him. And obviously kind of Salford's losses are gaining away, because I think it was rumoured that he was going to take over as head coach at Salford. But obviously with their troubles, it's not looking likely that, well, obviously I don't think, we don't know where they're going to end up, or if there even is going to be a club at the minute. Hopefully there is. And whether it be in Championship or Super League, hopefully there is a club still there. But obviously the people who they were planning to recruit is not really happening now. So yeah, he's obviously come to see about taking over from the Bulls. And it's one of those where I know obviously he's not got head coach experience. There's not a lot really to talk about in terms of his pedigree, but we know Brian No-ble's pedigree. He thinks a lot of him. Paul Rowley, obviously, he thinks a lot of him. And if you think about Salford this season aside, with all the money troubles, which is kind of beyond their control, it's more the ownership than the players or the squad. It's last season, they weren't the highest spending by any means, probably one of the lowest spending, and they got into the playoffs. So I think they punched well above the weight last season. Obviously, that was under Paul and Kurt. So yeah, I think my initial reaction was a bit surprised. I think I did think we were going to get someone with previous head coach experience.
Slightly bigger name, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose it's because some names, you read things on social media and see things bounced about. But then at the same time, when I sit and think about it, you want someone that the people at the club, if they already know and trust them, and want to keep them integrated into the Bulls way sort of thing. Because I know that Brian No-ble had said before, I think in previous interviews, that anyone he wants involved in the club, he wants them to have some sort of Bradford connection, where you can. And obviously he was a player for us in 2016, I think it was. So I remember seeing him as a player, obviously watched him as a player. Again, it's that kind of Bulls connection. And like I say, all the best to him. As much as fans can moan and say the expectations or what they think or what they don't, and I'm sure he'll get some stick over the next few years, because who doesn't? But at the same time, more than anything, I'm sure the fans will get behind him and wish him all the best. And yeah, looking forward to the new chapter. And we know obviously No-ble's still there, just behind the scenes, but yeah, I think from his interview that he'd said just before signing to be head coach, he kind of said he likes a bit of expansive rugby, a bit of, passing the ball and such as that. So might be exciting to see. Don't know how much they'll do it at Odsal, because obviously it's a bit of a smaller pitch, but maybe on other pitches it might be,
Well, we look forward to
rugby
it.
To watch.
Yeah, something to look forward to next season, definitely. Yeah,
so just give us your opinions as well. Obviously, there's been kind of mixed opinion online, but like I say, I know general consensus is fans will get behind him regardless. But yeah, let us know what you think about obviously the two signings for players and the head coach signing.
So we're off to Toulouse then, but, well, we're not off to Toulouse, but you see the tickets for Odsal, they're 440, sold out in 6 minutes, hottest ticket in Bradford.
I know, and I went on, I was the third in the queue.
Something like that,
I was straight on there. Yeah. I was sat there thinking, I need to get on these, I think they're going to sell out. And my partner saying to me, are you sure? I think you're just overreacting here. And I'm like, no, like, I think they will go pretty quickly. And then, it said I was in a queue and I were panicking. But then when it said I were third and got straight through, I thought, oh, phew. But sold out pretty quick. I think people have said that there has been more come online now. And I think the club has come out and said that they want to try and test showing it in other places in the stadium as well, such as Harry's Bar and the Touchdown Bar.
Oh, cool.
And they even talked about the big screen that's already there, but it'd be hard to kind of logistically do that.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. I mean, it's a semi-final. Obviously, people want to see it, but Toulouse will only give Bradford the right to show it at the stadium. Yeah. They won't give them the right to broadcast it outside. Which I think it's a bit of a missed trick from Toulouse, to be honest, because you could negotiate a deal to say, right, you charge everybody 15 quid and give us half of it or whatever. But obviously it's their decision. That's, I suppose, the punishment we get for not finishing second, so it's not in our hands. But it's brilliant to see that it was so popular. I did see a lot of upset Bull fans, which I can totally understand. It's I'd have been really upset if I hadn't got tickets. But at the same time, I suppose we can't do anything about it if that's all Toulouse will let the club do, which I just think is a real shame, to be honest. But anyway, moving away from that, let's actually look towards the game and get a bit more excited about the fact that it's the third time to France. Is it third time lucky?
Well, yes, we'll have to see about that. And incidentally, we did look at flights. I don't know if they're still available, but basically you have to fly via Stansted if you want decent times. So that's the tip if you didn't get your tickets for Odsal.
Yeah, I was very tempted. I kept looking, went back and forth, thought it end obviously just money and work and other things. It's like, no, says I don't think I'm going to Toulouse, but I can go to Bradford instead.
Anyway, back to the rugby side of it. So No-ble did confirm Bayliss, Armitage and Keys will all be in the mix for the week, so for the game. So looks like a fully fit squad to pick from. Excellent news. Also, Tafua made a massive case for his inclusion in the squad, I think. So it's going to be a bit of a head scratcher with Armitage fit, and obviously Tafua playing brilliant last week as well. And I think we need a big performance. Obviously, it's a semi-final. We want to get to the grand final, but it's a third one in a row to Toulouse. And I know the interview with No-ble, I don't think he was quite sure about how the squad are getting there, but I think last time it was that they had to fly to another city in France and then drive to Toulouse, and it was a bit of a stress getting there. So I know. It is obviously a massive advantage just to lose when your team has to kind of get a commercial flight and travel and probably miss work themselves to get there. But not one for excuses. We can still do it. There's other teams that have gone over there and done it. And a win obviously would be massive. And I think a championship grand final obviously is the aim. I would absolutely love that. But yeah, it's always a tough ask when we go to France. Yeah, I was looking at it because, obviously we went to the screening last year as well. It was, do you remember? It was in October and it was a really hot evening in the south of France. And I think that really played against us, really. But I couldn't believe it was like mid-October. But now, obviously we're only at the end of September now. So it was that bit later in the year, but still a very hot evening.
Did it start early this season this year? I can't remember. It might have started earlier, might the season. Okay. Not too sure, but hoping it's not too hot down there, yeah. Especially when it's been getting a bit cooler here. So I think people are kind of acclimatising to that. Yeah, so we go into this one losing the previous two games against Toulouse this season, so we're yet to beat them. But again, third time lucky, like I was saying. Is it third time lucky for both things? Third semi-final in Toulouse, third time playing them this season. An early trip in the season over Toulouse was a bit of a blowout. It was a scrappy game for the second one that we played. Obviously, the one early in the season, I think we'd not kind of hit our stride then. The spine in the team hadn't quite gelled, and it wasn't, I don't think it was the team we have now. I think the second match was more kind of a reflection of how I think it's going to be, just 2 points in it. And in fairness, that was such a bad weather, scrappy game that I think the weather wasn't even at that night, and obviously it was just a kick that split the two teams. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited to see it. It's weird because I think when we were doing the Toulouse preview a few weeks ago, hoping to get second, I was like really excited, but I was feeling really optimistic, which isn't like me. Whereas this time, I'm not saying I'm feeling pessimistic, but I'm saying that I wouldn't be as disappointed if we lose, because track record is that we do lose when we go to Toulouse. It's kind of more expected that we might lose. So I feel like a win would feel even better, if that makes sense.
Just quickly looking at the other side of the draw, we saw Halifax thump Oldham 40 points to 4. You think maybe a lot of people fancied Oldham, but their decision to sign so many players late on in the season probably disrupted that togetherness in the squad, do you think? And
I do think that. I think they signed a lot of players kind of in the pivotal positions, like obviously got Braley at fullback and like Ethan Ryan on the wing, and they had a few others. But obviously when you change your spine so late on, they were getting a bit of consistency and kind of building up the league ladder. And I think to throw in a load of new players, no matter what calibre you are, if you've not had time to train together, to work together, to gel together, it doesn't always work out for you. And I think that's what happened to Oldham. And fair play to Halifax. No one's expected them to get to the semi-finals. So I bet they're really happy for a trip to York. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they're one of the few teams to have beaten York at home, have they?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's definitely a chance for them. They know they can do it. They've done it once before, so they might be able to do it again. And to be fair, I'm quite pleased with this prospect, because I just keep thinking to myself, if we manage to beat Toulouse and Halifax managed to beat York, that's the championship grand final I'd want to see.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even if they don't beat York, our games against York have been quite tight, quite close. So maybe that will also be third time lucky for the season. But maybe we can only have one third time lucky in each season.
Yeah, well, hopefully one of them will at least get through. But if not, it's been another fantastic season, and obviously, I know they wanted to aim for second or higher, but it's just how it goes. If you actually look at the matches, like we've said before, it's 2 points in it with the York-Toulouse matches and a couple of other ones that we let slip. But yeah, you never know. It could be grand final at Odsal, Bulls versus Halifax, which is what I'm really hoping for. Like you say, going to York as well, definitely be up for going for that one. But it would be lovely to have it at Odsal, but especially when we didn't think that could really happen. But anything can happen.
Yeah.
So,
but again, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on this game in Toulouse. What do you reckon? What score would you say?
This is a question. I feel like there'll be a few more tries than we've seen previous, because it's such a big pitch. So I feel like there'll be more balls thrown to the wing and such. So I'm going to go for 24-20
to
the Bulls.
Ooh, yeah.
Trying to be positive.
Yeah. I'm feeling slightly more pessimistic, so I might mirror that and say 24-20 to Toulouse.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could go either way. Let's.
That's my optimistic side of me. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
I think we showed that we can go toe to toe with them. It just depends how it goes on the day. I was really reassured actually to see that we'd got I think it's Super League ref for the semi-final as well. So that might help a little bit. But we can only wait and see. But I'm excited either way. Even if we do lose at this point, it'll be gutting like it is every season. But as a Bulls fan, I think we're used to it now. So it's more of a let's go. We've got to the semi. if we lose, we lose. But if we win, absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah. And I do feel bad predicting against Bradford because I do think they can do it. But whether they will or not, it is a tough ask against, with all the signs being in Toulouse's favour, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, on paper, it should be a Toulouse win. They're at home. They've had a week off. They should win. But I just live in hope that we get a win and we get that championship grand final.
Okay, and now it's time for Bull or No-ble, where you'll be pleased to know, Laura, that I have gone into the archives and relived that night in October last year. And so all our questions are about the last semi-final we had against Toulouse Olympique.
I blocked this out, Alan.
See, that's my...
That's why you went for it.
So in Bull or No-ble, I pose 3 statements to Laura. She has to locate the single bull or false statement amongst the 2 truthful no-ble statements. So... yes, the game last season finished 21-20 to Toulouse Olympique. But here are my 3 statements for you.
You should have had that as one of the statements because I know that's true.
That would be too easy, Laura.
I know.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I remember.
Well, so my first statement is that the half-time score was 8-12 to the Bulls. My second statement is that Armitage scored the first try for the Bulls. And my third statement is that Lily kicked all 4 of his goals.
Armitage were playing for Toulouse last season, wasn't it? So, well, you're making me doubt it now. Because I didn't think we were up at half time. But I'm sure Armitage has only been with us this season. I think that's the Bull. I think he was still playing for Toulouse at that point. So I feel like, yeah, I'm sure he's only been with us one season. So I feel like by default, because I think that's a fact that he was playing for Toulouse last season, that has to be the Bull one. And the other 2 are No-ble.
Indeed, you're right. Correct. Yes, so Armitage did indeed score for Toulouse.
Yeah.
Maybe too obvious for you there. But yeah, we were up at half time, 8-12. And I was also looking, there were 2 disallowed tries for the Bulls and also 2 sin binnings. Mm-hmm. Each one of the try scorers was also sin binned. The disallowed try scorers was sin binned, but Myers and Gill each.
Yeah, let's hope there's no controversy this time. I know. Like I say, I think I blocked it out, but now you're talking about it, I do actually quite remember when you think, oh, if those tries had been allowed, and if this had have happened, that had have happened, and they want the sin bins. But that is a fact actually, that there's always it always seems to be a lot of kind of heavily disciplined matches with as in lots of sin bins and penalties when we play Toulouse. So let's hope nobody gets themselves banned. If we do actually get through to the final. I suppose if we're losing and we don't, it don't matter if they get banned, but I'd still like everybody to stay on the pitch. But yeah, it was gutting last year. I think that's why, I know it sounds strange, but I don't feel as bad if we lose this year because it felt so rubbish last year.
To lose by 1 point.
Yeah, I feel like I've already kind of come to terms with it before it happening, so I'm just more hopeful that I'll just be really, really excited about a win.
Yeah. Like, on the other hand, it was so close last year and, we've been playing really well. Maybe, just maybe, we could do it.
Yeah, and maybe Armitage will score first for the Bulls.
That would be good. So that brings us to the end of another episode of Talking Bullish. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks to all the followers and people commenting. Again, we've had some good social media interaction and a couple of comments on our podcast channels as well. So that's brilliant. Keep them coming. And as always, this is a fan podcast. So if you've got anything to say, please do say so. And if you want us to talk about anything, obviously we will. I know we're coming to obviously the end of the season, hopefully. this isn't the last match that we're previewing. We will see. But even so, we'll still be back after the end of the season, I'm sure, to review all the goings on of what's happened and look forward to the decision about Super League.
Absolutely, yes. There are lots to talk about in the off season. So stay with us and we will keep you up to date with everything that's going on. But before we get to that, come on you Bulls on Sunday. Hope everyone manages to get to Odsal or even Toulouse, and let's hope that the boys perform really well and we get that win.
Yeah, massive game, and really big good luck to all the squad. I know, like I say, it's not an easy feat going over to France after you've worked a full week as well. So hope you really enjoy it, really up for it. All the fans that go over, hope you have a lovely time, and hope that most of the fans that wanted to get into Odsal do manage to get there as well, or find some way to watch, and if not, they obviously can always give it a listen on the West Yorkshire radio. But yeah, come on you Bulls.